Chosen Vessels, what's the deal? It's Druuill. You already know what time it is. I'm back at you again with another video. I need every chosen vessel to press that like button, press that share button, and don't forget to subscribe. Let's step right into it. Shout out to the Galactic family and salute to Drew Nation. How to keep your composure with the narcissist when they're trying to bait you in conversation. Sometimes, right, when people see that they can't get to you, they will try to sneakily, they will try to sneak in to try to get you to react to something they say. People and narcissists love to do this with conversations. They're very sneaky. They're very deceptive with how they try to lead you in to something they feel you may be passionate about. All right, and this is where they try to get you because they have their views and you have yours. You have to not want to change other people so much when it comes to something that you may be passionate about, right? You may feel something should be different. There are people who may be able to pick up on this, and they'll play on that fact, and they'll try to play you off of that because they'll hold the opposite view, of course, and it's to try to bait you in a conversation. They want to get something out of you, and they see that they aren't able to go about it any other type of way. You have to be careful who and how you speak to people. If you know that it's better for you to not speak to someone, you don't have to, because people will try to trap you into a stressful situation via a conversation. And it always feels like that, doesn't it? That's because that when it feels like that, that's what's actually happening. The person is trying to bait you. It's a snare. It's a trap. That person is a scoffer, and they really just have a negative view on life, period. They may not care about a lot of stuff sometimes, and people will try to get you involved in some negativity, and you don't want to be involved in any negativity. You want to keep things on a positive plane of life. But there are folks out there, unfortunately, who they don't want to see that happen. They don't want to let that happen. And when they see you in a positive mood, they may not be in one, and they may try to bring you into a conversation that will leave you feeling worse off than when you got into it, right? People will say things, and it really is gaslighting, because they're gassing you up, for one, to get you involved and hyped about the conversation. All right, they'll talk about things that you have a passion for. They'll talk about something that they know you think should be a different way, or something that isn't right, something that you feel some type of way about. And you have to be careful if this is in a place to where it shouldn't be. Like, there's a few things you just don't talk about in certain places, and we know what those places are. I was at a couple jobs, and people tried to get me to talk about things, and I learned that that was a mistake, because in the middle of the conversation, I'm like, yo, I thought that this was what this person was trying to do. This person was trying to trap me into a conversation about race and politics. And I smoothly evaded the conversation because I asked them why. I was like, why are you asking me that? And the person was like, because I want to know. Yo, the lady must have had some type of, she must have had some type of issue going on. But yo, I see, man, I don't even know how I didn't even pick up on that. It's like you're not thinking about it. But when you do think about it, after you study narcissism, when you go back, it starts to click why people acted the way they did, right? And the lady, there were certain people that weren't feeling her too much, and some not too positive things took place, and now I see why. And the person was like so upset with this person, and I'm like, how could you treat this person like that? Because this person is someone to you. And I'm like, wow, that's deep. But now it makes sense, because people will drive you past the point. You can only take so much of someone trying to push you over the edge. Like Curtis Blow, excuse me. Like Curtis Blow said, he said, "Don't push me, cause I'm close to the edge." Like, yo, don't push it. Yo, sorry, y'all. I had to. Don't push people when you see them close to the edge. But they really, they really don't care. And you'll feel like some of them have a death wish, because they honestly do. A lot of these types of people, they're unhappy, they're sorry about their life, and it seems like they don't enjoy living. It seems like sometimes they don't even want to be alive, like they give off that energy like they don't want to be here. And that's not positive, that's not good. That's why it is good to pray for these people after you calm down, if they frustrate you. But hopefully God has brought you to the point where you're getting less frustrated by these types of things and these types of situations. You're developing a thick skin, as they would call it, right? But really, it's just a layer of narcissism, because there's some people that don't feel nothing, that don't care about nothing, and they think it makes them tough. But really, what they've done is just learn how to not deal with things. And that's why they'll change the subject. They won't face themselves in the mirror, and they'll just smooth over these things like they don't even exist. When you're in all actuality, this is something you got to deal with. This is something you got to take head on, because if not, you're gonna be out in the world treating people how you treat yourself. Because if you're treating yourself bad because you're sweeping up things under the rug, or your the way you self improve is like that comfy couch TV show, where the chick just smooth put everything underneath the couch. Like when I was younger, I thought that's how you were supposed to clean up, you know. uh I was watching Comfy Couch, leaving stuff out on the couch and just putting it under the couch, thinking that that's how you clean up. And then people go to vacuum, what's all this stuff underneath the couch? And then they're watching that Comfy Couch show. See, I told y'all that she teaching them to half-ass clean up, half behind clean up. And yo, that was no good, no bueno. All right, so yo, don't clean up your life like the Comfy Couch, because the stuff's still gonna be underneath the couch. You try to put stuff underneath the couch, you push this under, you push that under. It looks clean, but when you look around, when you go to really clean up and you move some things around, that stuff is still gonna be there, and you're gonna be like, oh, I forgot about that. Yeah, I'm still here. You got to do something with me. All right, yo, it's the stuff is still there, and when you don't do something with it, when you don't start to process things and analyze things, not from a point to where you're driving yourself up a wall or making yourself depressed, but to where you can clear your mind about it, make yourself feel better about it, learn to accept it, so that way you feel more comfortable and more motivated to make a change within yourself, because that it starts at home. All right, so but still, back to the topic at hand. These are things that will lead you to not being easily triggered and easily baited into conversations, because you'll come to a level of acceptance to where, okay, I just have to accept some things. People are allowed to have their opinion, people are allowed to feel how they want to feel about things, but you're also allowed to not get into certain conversations, and also to not engage when people bring up certain topics. So it's good to just use the gray rock method. All right. Don't have really any side. don't really have any opinion, because that lady, she was a manager, but at the time I didn't know any better. I almost could have ruined my stay at that particular place at that particular time. When there are certain people who will ask you a lot of questions like that, because when they get the answer, they're studying and learning about you to base how they're going to treat you after that. So God forbid you say the wrong thing. Now this person that is your manager, this person that is a higher up, this person that you work with will potentially now have a reason to try to make things hard for you, or just take out how they feel on you, or smear you. Oh, so and so looks at life like this. So and so feels, that this is how they think. Did you know this is how they view things? Yeah, we talked about it here yesterday in lunch. Like people will actually do that, and you don't need those things happening to you. So if you feel like it's a snare, it is. If you feel like the conversation is trying to trap you, it is. So when you feel that the conversation is starting to turn like a bait type of conversation, switch. All right. I'm not sure if that's how that particular term is used, bait and switch, but when they try to bait you, you switch. To me, that sounds like flipping the script. All right. They try to bait you, you switch. You can switch the topic, you can switch the conversation, anything to not get yourself riled up or upset, because they're really not doing anything wrong. When you look at it, it is wrong. It's definitely bad. It's terrible, but they're not doing anything wrong from that point of view. Like, what are you talking about? You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no truth in certain individuals. So you can't just be like, hey, you tried to bait me in this conversation. We're just talking. What are you saying? I don't understand. People will play that game on you, and that's probably what that bait and switch stuff is. They bait you, and then they switch up. Hey, I don't know what you're talking about, but you got to switch before they do. And really, just not engaging and not playing the game, that's enough switch for you right there. All you have to do is just not let what they say get to you, because once you learn that what people say has no power over you, you'll respond, overreact, and if you do react, you'll react less and less and less until you learn how to respond to things. And that is really what's going to help you. That's going to help you health wise. That's going to help you financially. All right, if you need to stay at that place, or whatever your situation is, it's going to keep you out of trouble. All right, it's going to keep you from looking like you don't know how to handle yourself to certain people. Not that you care, but you do want to appear like someone that, just for your own good, just for your own sake, you want to appear like somebody that knows how to handle themselves. And on top of that, you definitely want to do that, because less people will, if they're already watching you like a hawk, less people will come to you with the BS, because they'll see that they can't try you and they can't take you there. So and it's just like, it's the game of life. You're always leveling up and making yourself better. So once you come to a point to where you kind of see it as like, oh, it's just a cat mouse type game, it will it might even be fun at times when you trump these people, and when you triumph over them, and you use God and you overpower them, and you outthink them and you outsmart them. You're like, huh, okay, I knew it wasn't me, because they'll have you thinking like you're a bad person. They'll have you thinking like you're you done something wrong, or said something bad, or your views are bad, but they're the ones that started talking about it in the first place, and you were giving them too much information than you should have, and now they know certain things about you that you shouldn't have divulged to them. That's why you don't really tell certain people certain things, and you don't give too much information to folks, especially people who you may think are narcissists, or who are narcissistic, because they'll use it against you. They'll have conversations They'll use what you say against you to embarrass you. You talk to them about things. Now they're talking to other people about it in front of you to see if they can get a rise out of you. So you really have to be careful when and keep your composure when they try to bait you into a conversation. Those are some of the signs. You'll just see and feel like it's a trap. They'll talk about things that are inappropriate. They'll talk about things that you shouldn't necessarily be talking about, and they'll just be like, "What? I don't know what you're talking about." So they'll try to cover it up with with being innocent, and they'll try to act like that wasn't their real intent, but you know that was their real intent, and they know that that was their real intent. Their real intent was to try to take a crap on you and see how you responded to it. All right, people have hate that runs that deep. They'll try to get to you any way they can. And a lot of people use conversation as a tool for that, to try to pick, to try to prod, see where your mind is at, what your interests are, for them to further go back. And when they're not in your presence, because you know they can't stop thinking about you, you're you're always on their mind. You're always on their mind. My bad SWV impression, but yo, you're always on these people's mind, thinking about you, thinking about you. They cannot stop thinking. They think about you when they go to sleep and when they wake up. And they're thinking about what they're going to say to you, how they're going to say it, to try to get you to respond. Well, I know they think like this, so I'll say that. Well, I know I got them with this before, so I'll say that. And people think that you have a bad memory. You remember everything. For the most part, you have a really good memory. There's a lot of things that you remember. You remember how people are. What you have to do as a person who is an empath is not feel bad about how you feel towards others. Because when you're not doing anything wrong and other people are out to get you, you can't be so worried about how they look at you or how they think about you, to where you're crippling your own defense against them and their attacks. You have to keep it real with yourself. People are trying to attack you. They may seem cute, they may seem cuddly, they may seem like you could pick them up and give them a squeeze, but you might go to squeeze them, and they might try to go squeeze you to death. All right, so you have to be careful, because this energy exchange is real. Talk to people after you get done talking to them, felt like you just got hit with a sack of bricks, or felt like somebody just used you as a punching bag, the person you were just speaking with. So they will try to bait you in conversation when they see you getting stronger, when they see their remarks have no effect. Now they'll try to talk to you and hit you where it hurts, hit you where there's a low blow, talk about things that you may be going through. They're judging you. They may say how they feel, and it's just conversation. So they put it in a way to where it doesn't appear that they're trying to take a crap on you, but after they say it and you think about it, you're like, wow, this person is saying some things that they're trying to use against me and think I'm going to respond to this in a negative way, but I'm not, because what they're saying has no power over how I feel about myself and how I feel about my situation, my progress, how I feel about my life, and how I view the present moment and my future. How I view my present moment and how I view my future is definitely going to be different from somebody who doesn't have a positive mindset in general for themselves or their own life. You can't judge how someone is coming off to you when they're negative. All right, if a person is negative to themselves and just in general, the things that they're saying, how they view others, is primarily going to be negative, and it's something that you can't take personal. A lot of people have their own views, and they'll try to bait you because you can't change them, and that's just how they view the world. There's no winning in a conversation with a narcissist. The best thing to do is to disengage, not talk, gray rock, be less interesting, not be too enthusiastic, not be too informative with your responses. Keep them small, keep them light, because you're trying to save your life. All right. People really want to destroy you, and they have done things to test you, to put pressure on you, to make you feel a certain way. And when they would get a negative reaction out of you, then they would point the finger at you and be like, why are you acting like this? It's your fault. Why are you being unruly? But the whole entire time, they have done things to push you to that point. But now they want to say it's your fault for being that way. And that's why you have to be careful when they try to bait you in a conversation. They will get you upset when you're still working on yourself, when you're unaware that this doesn't have as much power as you think it does. We think people are big and bad and they hold more authority than they do. We give people in authoritative positions too much power due to certain ways and certain experiences we may have had earlier in our journey. But only God deserves that amount of power, and that's where your courage comes from. Because when you give God that power instead of other people, you are empowering yourself as well. You're empowering yourself instead of empowering the enemy. They may try to trap you. You're more powerful than that. They may have a snare laying there for you. You're more powerful than that. You can outthink that. Keep working on yourself and keep growing, because when there are times where you're tested, that inner self-talk is going to be there for you. All the positive things you say about yourself, that self-improvement is going to be there for you. All the things you've learned, all your coping mechanisms, all the things to help you elevate your mind so you can elevate your life. So you're not constantly stuck and focused on things that don't serve you and that don't prosper you and that don't make you healthy. These things will steal your health from you. They'll steal your vibrant energy from you. You won't be as vibrant when you're focused on these things. You won't be as joyful. You won't be as youthful. These things will really put a damper on you. All right, it's like a dark cloud that you don't need in your life. All right, you don't need any clouds in your life. You just want to shine. You want constant sunshine. All right. Sometimes there's rain and stuff like that, but God will be there for you to get through the storm, and you'll be there for you to get through the storm. And that all the things that you learn and all the things that you study, all the things that you take in will be there to help you get through the storm. All right. So allow yourself to continue to grow. There may be times where they get you. It's not the end of the world. You're not a bad person. They try to make you feel like one, but you're not. And that's the thing. They do not feel good about themselves. You have to constantly remind yourself that certain people are only coming from a viewpoint of hate and hurt. All right. If it's not hatred, it's hatred. If it's not hatred, it's hatred. All right. Some people are envious, and you think this person is just having a conversation with you, and this person is envious towards you. Think they're just talking to you about this and that, but this person has some jealousy towards you. And most of the time you can see it. You can even feel it. They may they try to put on the best front that they can. They really do. But you it's something that you can see and feel on people. And there's no denying it. It's there because the energy doesn't lie. There's no denying the type of energy that people give off towards you, because it shows you how this person views you, how they feel towards you, right? And you know when it's, you know if it's either positive or you know if it's negative. It doesn't take a genius to figure that out. Even though we are geniuses over here on this channel, all right, each and every one of us. So keep growing, keep your composure. Don't take the bait, as as the narcissists say. The things they say, everything comes out their mouth is gaslighting. It's just everything that comes out their mouth is a gaslight. That came out the mouth of a narcissist at this one job I had. And she said, "No, they didn't take the bait." Somebody had came in and said something that they shouldn't have said, and I didn't let it bother me or whatever. But they try to get to you. It's something that they do. It's fun for them. It's empowering to them. They see us as a challenge. They see themselves. They view themselves as strong, but they really are insecure. They have some weaknesses that they won't come to terms with, and that's why they have to attack people who are comfortable and who go in front of the mirror and deal with what they're going through. All right, they power through it. They don't give up through it. They pray through it. They guide themselves through it. All right, and God guides them through it. All right, allow God to guide you through these things. Pray to Him about these things. Pray to Him to be strong when you're having conversation. Pray to Him that he'll keep you away from snares and traps. All right. Pray to Him that you'll be able to use your discernment to view when people are trying to trap you in certain conversations and trying to get you into a heated situation. Things that would just raise your blood pressure, annoy you, possibly give you a headache, possibly cause you to not feel good, be drained, tired, when you could have avoided the whole thing and went about your day and continued to have a good day. That's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to let things go, be able to go about your day and continue to stay positive. All right. And the more you do what I discussed in this video, let things go. All right. The more you keep your composure, the more you don't say too much and you don't give in to them wanting to talk to you. All right. If the person is trying to force you to talk, you don't have to. You can set a boundary of silence. Just stop talking. Once they say certain things that make you, that could possibly make you respond to them in a negative way, just stop talking. You could just silence, put a wall of silence up. For real, that's like people really put up a wall of silence. A lot of these just words that are terms like that, they really do hold a lot of weight and make a lot of sense when you look at them from a deeper level, or maybe you don't need to look at it from a deeper level. Maybe you could just take that for face value, a wall of silence, but me, of course, I'm gonna look at it from a deeper level. I'm like, wow, wall of silence. Can I actually put up a wall with my force? Like you actually can. You can actually put up like a force field of energy around yourself. You could protect yourself, and that's how people stop themselves from getting drained in certain situations. They raise their energy level, they tap in, they become aware of the force field, they see it in their mind's eye. All right, you could pray to God about it, talk to God about it, ask Him to strengthen that up for you, you know. But just make sure that when you're talking to certain people, when you feel it get negative, just disengage, become disinterested, focus on better things. And that's another thing. There are better things you could do with your mind. You could put your mind on something else. Somebody starts talking about something that you don't like, start thinking about something that you do like. It's all about how you choose to redirect your thoughts. You control your thoughts, not other people. All right, we may have got a lot of direction growing up. You may have got a lot of instruction throughout your life. People may have had certain amounts of control over you to where you didn't have that much control over yourself, but now you take that control back. You have control over you, not other people or what they say. You control you. You tell you what to do. You tell your mind what to think. You tell your mind what to think, not them, not anybody. You control this. Once you start to control that and understand that that's where your power is, everything else is going to fall in line. You're going to become God to everything. All right. So allow yourself room to grow. Don't be too mad when things don't go right. When people say things you don't like, you can easily get over it by not trying to change them, accepting them for who they are, accepting the fact that you don't have to be upset about it either. All right. I'd like to thank everybody for watching this video. Yo, yo, you will start to laugh. You can accept the fact that you don't have to be upset about it. I don't have to be upset about that. I can accept that right here and right now. In the midst of what they just said, I could accept that, call some heaven down, accept I can accept a positive thought right here and right now. So when it seems like things don't go right, when it seems like things are going wrong, don't go with them. Accept a positive thought right here and right now. It'll make your mind feel good. It'll make you feel good. It'll make your whole day feel good, make your life feel good. I'd like to thank everybody for watching this video. Salute to the Druuill Nation. Shout out to the Chosen Vessels. And salute to the Galactic family. I'll see everybody in the next video. All right? You know I will. And I'll talk to you later. Peace out.